That was like a dying turkey. Whoa! All right. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Welcome to the 80th year. Oh, no, not 80th year. The 80th episode of the Political Spotlight. I am your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey, and it is an absolute pleasure to be here with you. Thank you, one and all, for being here. This is the 80th episode of the Political Spotlight. I don't really know what the name of it is. I think the name of this episode is $257,857.41 to $385,420.41. For what, Dan? For what, Dan? And when you say it, it's got to be like this. I got to look at the title again. What's the title? Those large sums of money to another large sum of money. For what, Dan? That's what I got to look like when I say it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a major announcement. Last night, we did an episode 79, and I thought that I went over all of the math pretty wonderfully. I thought that I covered the Muncie maths, the math in Muncie. I thought I went over it pretty well. We had a little bit of an issue right at the beginning because I couldn't figure out how to make the picture large enough for you all to see it. But then, in quick order, producer Kate was able to figure it out. It's like, I don't know why I didn't have her do that in the beginning. I don't know why we didn't plan ahead of time and have that all taken care of before we went live. But then it wouldn't have been like a live show if we weren't struggling. Then we did the show, and the show went off without a hitch. And I feel like the people that were in here watching it, and the people that have watched that episode since, like the top of their heads blew off. They're like, oh my God, we're spending how much money on this facility? And then we played the music at the end of the show. You all know what that sounds like. It sounds like this. And people said, turn the lights out, last one out, lock the door, and we went off air. And you all went along your merry way. Some of you settled in to watch some horrible late night TV. Others clicked on to other YouTube channels. I went straight in to work. what I started doing after a conversation with Kate, and after having to leave and go pick some items up, and then when I came back, when I got back in for the evening and I was settled, the first thing I needed to do was clean the studio up. So I deleted everything from the show that I didn't need, yada yada yada, and I started to delete the downloads that I had pulled up from the city controller's office because I didn't need them anymore. And as I deleted the monthly expense from July of 2023, as I pressed delete, something caught my eye. And I was like, wait a minute, that didn't seem right. But I had already deleted it. It was no issue. So I kept everything else. I went back in and I re-downloaded the July monthly expense report. And I scrolled and I scrolled, and just like that, I found what caught my eye. And I thought, well, that looks odd. That looks strange. That's not what I told the people. So then I started looking elsewhere in the July report, and I thought, that looks odd. So then I got out of the July report, and I had already deleted the August 2023 report, but I still had the September 2023 report up. So I looked through it, and I don't actually delete things. Like, I don't delete the important things. I was just deleting the shit off my computer that I don't need, the little pop-up things that I show you guys. Like, I was getting rid of my extra tabs, because I've got, if you looked at my screen right now, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I've got 17 tabs opened up on the top of my screen. And so I deleted all of that stuff off there and was just kind of shoring stuff up, cleaning stuff up. That itemized list, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, no. I did not give you false information. The information I gave you was very much true. But what we're going to learn tonight is I had not given you the complete picture. So get ready to hold on to your butts, because the dollar amount that we discussed last night, the tax money that Mayor Ridenour has spent on a hole-in-the-wall building that's probably not worth $100, is getting ready to increase drastically. Okay? So I think people are going to be blown away by this. So I'm going to tell you this. Here's the thing. This is what we're going to talk about tonight, so you guys are aware. First and foremost, we're going to go over this. I consider it breaking news. Honestly, listen, I'm going to be 100% honest. This fiasco alone should have cost Ridenour the election. This should have cost Ridenour the election. Just with what people knew about it. I'm saying I'm presenting you with information that we didn't know 2 weeks ago. But I am of the belief that what we knew 2 weeks ago alone should have cost him the election. With what I'm getting ready to drop on you folks tonight, Really, I think people should probably be up in arms with pitchforks and fire. So we're going to be talking about that. And then we're going to also talk about some amazing news out of Delaware County as well. So we're going to be talking about that as well. Also, I see what you did there, Kate, with the sharing the thing, and that's the same thing I was going to do. So that I'm definitely fine with that. I'm going to. Oops. You don't need me to record myself in the group and send it to you in the group. What I want to know is, producer Kate, I am going to send you. Oops. I'm going to send you a picture in the group. When you get a moment, can you put that picture in overlay? It's just one picture. So if you can do that. Do you have enough for corruption? I don't know. Okay, so if this here, yeah, the FBI should start getting, now we should start getting some information. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Last night, just briefly, I want to say, last night. Oh, pause 1 second. 1 second.
I love the Koopy music every time. Oh shoot, you can probably hear me, but I'm gonna have to
feeding the ducks.
How's my audio? I know it was gonna be messed up a second ago.
It's fantastic. You sound wonderful.
Ooh, the Muncie Press is on here. That's some quality reporting.
I love that feeding the ducks. It's just like mysterious and sexy enough that it's definitely.
It's got a fun little beat to it.
Yeah. All right, Brando. So I'm going to drop this on these people, and I want to hear your thoughts. So we're going to talk about a couple different things. First, we're going to talk about these figures from the city of Muncie, how much we've been spending on a building we're getting ready to tear down. Then we're going to talk about the park data. Everybody lost their mind back a couple months ago when the city of Muncie released some park data. We've got actual information, and we're going to release graphs, and the park has been increased by hundreds of thousands of millions of thousands. And so we're going to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about the good news out of Delaware County. So
some quality graphs they released. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, right. They were. All right. So last night, the information I gave you all last night.
Thanks, Lenny.
Yeah. Detailed 1, 2, 3 claims that
Monastery, you're gonna come out a couple of weeks, you're gonna report the same story. Is that the plan?
Yeah, here it comes. Well, yeah, here it comes for the city of Muncie, the Muncie stir. 3 claims that were questionable that I'm going to get records on. And there were 1, 2, 3, 4 claims that were absolutely tied to the center in crisis, the crisis center. 1, 2, 3, 4 claims that totaled $33,000. It totaled $33,527.50. Now, to find out that Ridenour spent $135,000 on this building, and then we've also spent an additional $33,525.50, drives me crazy because this building isn't worth $100. We're going to be tearing it down. Like, maybe they would get $10,000 for the scrap they would turn in. Maybe it's worth $10,000. Yeah, it's $5,000, $100. You know, like, I mean, keep in mind, Ridenour sold the jail, the former jail, to the company, to the Jennings company, the Jennings boys, for $100. Okay.
Yeah.
But this, he felt like he needed to pay $135,000 for.
So here's the question: knowing what we know now, was there not just a vacant lot somewhere in the vicinity that would have been cheaper?
The city owns vacant lots.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, you paid that money, but you didn't even get a building out of it. Basically, you got a non-vacant lot. Like now, you need to make it a vacant lot so that you can use it.
And they're going to do something dumb. They're going to tear the building down, and they're going to build a new building on the old slab. I'm telling you, for the love of God, people out there, if you're listening, and I know you hate me, so you normally do the opposite of what I say. So this is what I'm saying. Please tear the building down and build it on the old slab. Do that. Now what they'll do is they'll tear the slab down and do it the right way.
That's what you need to do. Like how they say that no candidate that is connected with you is ever going to win. You need to be like, I endorse Dan Ridenour.
Yes.
And then they're just going to be, then their heads will just pop. And they're like, but Dan.
Yeah. Well, oh no, Sherry Carmack, let me tell you what happened with the liquor license. I'll tell you exactly what happened. When American Bar Company, which is Dustin Clark, the Prairie Creek superintendent, and Belinda Munson, which is the elected city clerk, they make up the organization called the American Bar LLC. When they bought that building for $50,000, the liquor license came along with the building. So they ganked the liquor license out of the building.
Yoink.
And then they, what?
Yoink.
Yeah.
Ganked it out.
Yeah. And then they sold that building to the mysterious ECIBG for $60,000, who then turned around and sold it to the city under the direction of our fearless leader, Dan Ridenour, for $135,000. So now Linda Munson and Dustin Clark still have the liquor license.
I have that question, Joey. Like, how do they just... I don't know. You think they'd pour a new slab as well? That seems a little sketchy, but
everything about this seems sketchy. So last night, ladies and gentlemen, because here we're going to get to it. We're going to drop it now. Everybody's heads are getting ready to pop off. Here we go. Last night, I told you guys of a claim from July 8th, 2022 for $28,000 for other services. That's questionable. I told you of a claim for $7,527.50 from December 22nd, 2022 for this crisis center. And that was a real big question mark to me because I broke this story ahead of the Muncie Stir Press. Sorry, Stir Press. I broke this story, which is basically what I do always. I broke this story and I did not break it in December. I didn't break it in January. I think I broke it in February. So they were paying $7,527 to U.S. Architects in December. What? Okay. I also talked of a claim for $4,000 on May 19th, 2023 to U.S. Architects for $4,000. Munis. And then a claim from June 2nd and a claim from August 4th, both for $11,000. So $22,000 total to U.S. Architects for this building. But then when I was going through the monthly reports, what I was looking for was simply, I typed in that my search word was architect. So I was looking for any claim that had the word architect in it, and I found all of these. Then it dawned on me what I needed to do was I needed to select what it was, what the buzzword that was attached to all of this, the buzzword that was attached to every bit of this was, and I'm going to tell you right here. The buzzword that was attached to all of it was
it something like mental health or something?
Yeah, I want to say the right thing. It was
I just want to make something up, so I'm gonna say it's mental health and Dan's slush fund.
Right.
Oh, substance abuse and mental health.
It was
substance abuse and mental health is my guess. Just a random guess.
That's really close.
Super close.
Behavioral.
Damn it.
Yeah, I know, right?
Kate let me down.
Yeah,
put it in the chat.
Oh, she's right. It's substance abuse and behavioral health treatment. All right.
Oh, well, there we go.
That's what it was. Substance abuse and behavioral health treatment. So I copied and I pasted that and I put that into the City of Muncie's fund. And when I did, this is what I found.
Newsflash.
Okay, folks. Yeah, just troll through that for a moment, if you would, Kate. This is what I found.
See her trolling. Well, those numbers are weird.
Okay, go back to the bottom, or go back all the way to the top. All right, so December 22nd, 2022, $7,527.50 was paid to U.S. architects before anyone even knew that this was a thing. The Board of Works approved it. Okay. On April 28th, 2023, $11,000 was paid to U.S. architects. All right. On May 17th, $30,000 was paid to IU Ball Memorial Health Hospital. Now, I know that's not technically being paid to the building, but it's being paid to people that certainly don't need the money for anything. But what services are we getting?
Yeah.
What services are they giving us in May?
For $30,000.
For $30,000.
Yeah, those engineers, fees. Clinton.
Consulting fees.
Consulting fees for what? Hey, park that park cot number 12 over there next to the beer cooler.
I need to become a consultant.
Troy Ingram. Yeah, how do you do that? Troy Ingram, this is what you missed. I don't know if you were here last night. I think you were, and we went over just a few claims for this crisis center. But I found these after the show last night. Scroll back through them, Kate, but don't show the grand total yet.
Oh, we need to get Troy. You need to get us some deets. Look at this crap.
Yeah, what is this, Troy?
Yeah, Troy. You a counselor?
Bro, what is this?
Come on, man.
What is all this money? What did the City of Muncie pay? This building is a shithole. We're going to tear it down. What are we paying U.S. architects? Almost $19,000 between December of 2022 and April of 2023 for.
We put Troy on the spot, but it's not like they went through the council.
Yeah, right. No, I know this is not Troy's fault. I bet Troy doesn't know anything about this.
I'm still going to blame Troy.
Yeah, right, Troy. You always blame the guy that's like not here, not going to be here. It's Troy's fault. Payment for going to other local governments and pitching them for the opioid money. That's absolutely right. Because during this time period, the IU Health Ball Memorial Hospital people were going to Newcastle.
Oh, yeah.
They were going to Winchester. They were going to Anderson.
Let's pay $30,000 to get them to ask other people for money.
Yeah. You guys are acting like the mayor wants the council to be involved or know anything. Yeah, right. Well, prepare yourselves. Listen to these people saying 26,000 in 2 months. What the hell?
Hey,
it's getting ready to get crazier. All right.
He's a transparent mayor, Troy. I don't want to hear that. He said he was going to push for transparency.
Yeah, right.
We're not going back to the old ways.
Facility not opened. Won't be there for a while. Not opened elsewhere as far as we've been told. No, it's not open anywhere else. All right. So let's move on. $30,613.66 for IU Health. We don't know what that is. All right. Now we drop down here to May 19th, 2023. A cool $4,000 to U.S. Architects. Do the Board of Works. No questions. No harm, no foul. All right. Here we are, June 2nd, 2023. U.S. Architects, 11 grand. Just bam, right like that. What are they doing there? We don't know. All right. Now listen. Right here. Keep in mind. Look at this. Center Point Energy. That's a biggie. $17.98. Whoa. All right, listen. Okay, we know what that is. That's Center Point Energy. That's their energy. That's the power. But why were we paying that back in June when we're getting ready next week to get bids to tear the damn building down?
In all fairness, before we get too far, there's no other substance abuse and behavioral health treatment facility that the Muncie government, that Dan's administration is working on, right? Could that be anything else?
Listen, hey, if someone out there in the Ridenour administration knows something, I tell you what, real quick, let's do this. Let's do this, because you're right. I don't want to jump ahead of ourselves. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do anything wrong.
I'm not trying to poo-poo on this, but
I don't. Yeah, no. You're completely right and completely fair. And I don't want to do anything out of pocket. I don't want to misquote Dan or do anything wrong. So briefly, I want to share this page, and here's what we're gonna do. Okay, we're gonna do this fair. I'm gonna share this. Here's my Facebook page. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go up here, and we're gonna type in Dan Ridenour, and we're gonna ask him. Wait a minute.
Are you blocked? Are you blocked?
I'm now blocked from Dan Ridenour. I wasn't last week.
You done pissed him off.
I wasn't blocked. I've been friends with the mayor's account in which he does city business on. Washington phone and TV stations. Now, I know. You're right, Lenny. That's exactly right. I'm being facetious because I found out today that I am now blocked from Mayor Ridenour's post, his social media. So I sent a little email to them today. I sent it to the mayor, to the city attorney, to the communications director. I said, by the way, something happened. You guys accidentally somehow blocked me on an account that I have had access to for the last 6 years.
Whoopsie.
I've used that. Yeah. I've used that account to redress the government. I've used that account to call out Mayor Ridenour, to alert him to things. And I'm afraid that you guys are now violating my First Amendment right.
It's possible, Alva.
What?
Oh, I was telling Alva it's possible.
Right. It's a very good possibility. It's a very good possibility. The thing is, he didn't need to just talk to JD. He also needs to talk to Sproles, because Sproles is getting sued for that. So I let Ridenour know and his team that I would be talking to my attorney on Wednesday, the 22nd, and that they have, I mean, it sounds like blackmail or threatening. It's not, it's just being truthful. They have until Wednesday to correct that issue. And then if not, I'll be handing it over to Ross, to Gavin Rose, and we'll be going forward with whatever we can go forward with Dan, because I'm done playing around with these people. Facts are facts. They
Transparent Dan?
What?
Transparent Dan?
I know. Can you believe that? What kind of transparency is this? So I went to ask him. In all fairness, I'm waiting on someone to tell me what these numbers are. I have not heard anyone tell me yet. So until they tell me, I'm going to assume that this is the one and only crisis center, because I know for a fact. So let me tell you this. When you see this Center Point Energy on June 9th, 2023 for $17.98, I know that is for the power bill at 809 West 8th Street. So that leads me to believe that June 2nd, that 11,000 also must be going to something in connection with that. That lets me believe that look at this, IU Health, $233.13. It leads me to believe that.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I guess the point is, can we think of anything obvious? An obvious alternative, and there is no obvious alternative, I guess. What's the question and answer?
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of what else that would possibly be.
You're right. Center Point is the gas. Okay. That's the gas. They had to turn the lights on to see the termites and roaches.
You gotta give them a scatter somehow.
That's a very good possibility. It's a meth lab. Okay, let's move along here. July 7th, Center Point Energy, another set. Okay, U.S. Architects on the 23rd of June, $63.30. July 7th, Center Point Energy, $17.98.
These U.S. Architects fees are weird. It's like $10,000 one month and then like $63 the next.
Yeah.
One bill.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are.
Can you guys just bill us monthly or something?
Right. IU Health, $199.19. July 7th. July 14th, Indiana Michigan Power. That's the power company. $78.52. Indiana American Water on July 28th, $74.60. August 4th, Center Point Energy, $17.98. They're consistent.
They're really consistent. That's gas bill? Someone said?
What? Yeah.
Someone said that was the gas bill?
Yeah.
Why not so consistent?
You would say their final bills, well, the final bills are like they just keep on rolling. I mean, they were all.
That's
how
probably
much is the total, asshole?
I mean, the gas, maybe they have a gas water heater, so they're using and nobody's using the hot water. So it's just this minimal amount.
Yeah.
They have the gas on.
Yeah.
How much is the total asshole? I don't know. Christopher's generally about $20.
Yeah, right. August 4th, $11,000 U.S. Architects. All right. Okay, here we go. August 11th, Indiana Michigan Power, $79.15. August 25th, Indiana American Water, $75.54. Oh, look, True Building North.
Just the commenters being like, "That's have the meter on, you dumbass." Yeah, right. Okay, you guys are right. I get it. I'm an idiot.
Look at this. True Building North. That's those two guys that have a construction company. on August 25th, 2023, they got paid $21,292.98. What were they paid that much for in August? I've been there. I was there prior to August. I was there early, and I've been there since August, and nothing's changed with the building. They will find out. They will find out that the building is a total loss. It is a total loss. Wait. Have you not heard that? We're going to get there. It is. Yeah, we're going to get there after we've paid all this money. So
like Justin Belinda buy it back.
Yeah, it's be hilarious. Open up a bar there.
Thirsty termites.
They could open up a bar called the Crisis Center. That would be amazing.
Oh, dude, we got to beat them to it. That would be awesome.
Who would come to a bar called the Crisis Center?
Oh, dude, I'd be there.
You could spell it with K's.
Oh, like Christopher and Rudd.
We could call it Christopher's Crisis Center.
Oh, with 3 K's?
With 3 K's.
That's not a terrible idea at all.
I can just imagine the billing. Our waiters would come up. They would have instead of having towels, their whole outfit would be a towel.
Okay.
So I literally just put this together tonight. I'm going to be sending this out to everybody that wants to be involved tomorrow. Yeah, I will be sending this to the FBI. I'll be sending this to
FBI is the ones that can answer the real questions. I still want to know who ECIBG is.
Call it the Crisis Center. I like that.
The Crisis Center.
What did you say, Brandon?
Oh, I said the FBI can answer the real questions. I'm still wanting to know who ECIBG is.
Yeah, who are those people? Okay.
Well, I think we'll get to that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay. So moving on. All right. August 25th, 21. I mean, I want to ask True Building. So here's the other issue. I've compiled this in a records request, and I'm asking the City of Muncie to give me an itemized accounting of what all of this is. Okay. You want to know when the purchase date was for the city? Stand right by, and I can tell you when that was. We go here to Beacon. We're going to pull up in Beacon and tell you right here. I don't know why I don't just have Beacon pulled up always.
Man, Joey's on it.
Yeah, we should always have Beacon pulled up, and basically home screen should start at my home screen should just basically always start at 809 West 8th Street.
Was the Crisis Center a Troy Ingram idea?
Yeah, well, yes and no, it was.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Way to go, Troy.
Yeah, look what you did, Troy.
Look what you did, you little jerk.
And if you were on the ballot, I would unelect you. No. So, no, listen, I mean, let's think about this.
DAC is Dustin Clark.
No, DAC is Delaware Advancement Corporation.
That'd be funny, though.
It would be hilarious.
They just gave him $127,000.
Hey, here you go, $127,000.
We're only paying you 2 salaries. Here, have some more.
Okay, so Delaware Advancement Corporation, they bought the building. The purchase was done on May 11th, 2023. Okay, May 11th, 2023 is when the Delaware Advancement Corporation bought the building from. Wait a minute.
From ECIBG, right?
It was 60 to 70. I thought it was 50 and 60. Okay, so it's $10,000. It was 60 to 70. So whatever. Okay.
Still
So
$55,000 profit for. Well, no,
absolutely.
$65,000 profit for ECIBG because it's $10,000 in earnest money, right?
Yeah. So when you're looking at this, folks, again, Shoestring Group is John Neal's daughters and friends. They buy it, and they're just private people. They buy it December 30th, 2019. American Bar Company, which is Belinda Munson and Dustin Clark, they buy it September 29th, 2021. And then 1 month later, they sell it to ECIBG LLC for $70,000 minus the liquor license.
So it's lost value.
Yeah, right. And then Dan buys it and Dak steps in and they're involved. It's really kind of convoluted. Okay, so I want to say this, but weren't the talks taking place in October? October of what? October of what, Annie?
23.
Because okay, yes.
100, Troy. That's 100%.
Well, let's go through this, and then I will look for the contract. So True Builders, I'm very interested in what the hell they got $21,292.98 for. All right. Then September 1st, IU Health gets another $489.79 for only God knows what. This is the weird thing to me. September 8th, 2023, Delaware Advancement Corporation, $127,563. Obviously, this seems like it's the payment, but it's weird that it's the payment in September because
like 4 months later.
Dak normally does everything right up front, and they pay before, as the deal's going through. So I don't understand what all of this is. I don't know why all of this is happening. It's very strange. Maybe I don't know. So that's why, honestly, my thumbnail says from 257,000, which that's a little off anyways, and we'll explain why here in a minute. So let's move forward. September 8th, 2023, Centerpoint Energy, $17.98. At least Centerpoint never lets us down. All right. September 8th, Indiana Michigan Power, $71.93. Oh, looky here. Looky here. 1 month later, True Builders, $24,466.98. Over the course of 2 months, these people received nearly $50,000 from the city of Muncie. To do what?
Fighting termites. Fist fighting termites.
Fighting termites. And $50,000. October 6th, Centerpoint Energy, $17.98. October 13th, Indiana Michigan Power, $57.25. October 20th, Indiana Michigan Power, $57.25. October 27th, IU Health, $307.24. And then there's this one thing from way back in the past, from July 8th, 2020, U.S. Architects, $28,000 for other services. That very well possibly is not included or not involved, but until I get a clarification, I don't know what other services are. I mean, that could be anywhere from, that could be lots of things. So I'm going to have the city tell me what it is.
Termite. Lenny would eat the termites personally for $50,000.
For $50,000. So the grand total on all this nonsense is $289,283.38.
I agree, Big Man.
What?
Big Man said he likes to see their campaign contribution to Dan. I'd like to see that too.
Okay, well, I have Dan's campaign finance, and I have we'll have to look for that. So, what's your thoughts on this, Brandon?
That's really expensive for an empty lot.
It really is.
That's way too expensive, especially if the city already owns empty lots. It's almost like there's something else going on here. Either it's gross incompetence, like, because this is absurd level of incompetence, or there's something else going on. So you're either shady or stupid. They're either shady or stupid, in my opinion. So a lot of these questions people are asking, like Big Man saying he likes to see campaign contributions. I kind of talked to you about it earlier. It all seems shady to me. I feel like I don't have my tinfoil hat. I don't know what I did with that. But anyways, ECIBG feels like a middleman to me now that I've been thinking about it. I'm not going to go too far into conspiracy theories, but to buy that for that briefly and then immediately just pull out that liquor license and then sell it again to an organization that's anonymous, they sound like they're middlemen to me. I mean, they're also involved with the city, and then between them and the city is this other organization. It's like someone said, hey, hold on to this for a second. Someone else is going to form a group, which formed basically the month they bought it for just $10,000 more after they pulled out the liquor license, which drops the value substantially. Buy it and then pretty quickly sell it to the city. It's a little too convenient. That's all I'm saying. I don't have any proof of anything, but it just feels, in my opinion, feels shady. That's my thought on it. Sue Arrington isn't running for re-election.
That rumor's been going around. I don't know. I don't put any stock into that.
Shortest counselor term we're ever going to see if that's the case. They'll bash him. Will show up to like 5 meetings and be like, I'm out.
Well, looky here. It was right on top. I didn't even have to go. I didn't even have to do anything crazy or anything. I mean, I did a whole bunch of crazy stuff there, but
I don't think Troy wants his name on that crisis center at this point, big man.
Right. The Troy Ingram Crisis Center.
I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, right.
Don't wipe that on me.
All right. So this makes me so angry to look at this. ECIBG option to purchase property located at 809 West 8th Street, Muncie, Indiana. The buyer has offered to pay the sum of $20,000 in U.S. Dollars for earnest money. And the buyer's rights to exercise the option shall commence on the date of the seller's acceptance of this option and shall expire on the 31st day of October 2023. $10,000 shall be credited to the purchase price. And this was signed in October of 2022.
It's a good idea in theory, Troy. It's just almost $300,000 already wasted in taxpayer money is disgusting. Like that's the taxpayers' money.
Yeah, listen.
I don't hate a crisis center.
Yeah, we need a drug treatment facility.
I think it's a great idea. I just think this is all shady and wasteful as can be.
You know what's happening? On a piece of property that's like exactly as a crow flies, like 3 miles down the road from this area? The county is spending lots of money on a center very similar to this. So why are we not combining our efforts?
Yeah, working together and just making one really nice center.
So they signed all of this on the 21st of October, 24th of October, 2022.
Poorly executed is a nice way to say it, Niles.
Yeah.
That's about the nicest way you can say it.
Well, here's something interesting about the ECIBG. So they signed that thing to buy the damn thing.
Signed the thing to buy the damn thing.
Yeah. Then we get this today. So ECIBG, which was formed in October of 2021, they have not filed their business entity report. So this will be dissolved before long administratively because they haven't done their paperwork. And if you notice, who's still the registered agent?
A deceased man.
Bob Beasley, who the city of Muncie told us to all harass while he was not well. Basically dying, yes. He's now deceased and he's still on there.
Mm-hmm. So it looks to me like this company was formed solely to act as a middleman to get this building into the city's hands.
Yep. I mean, yeah, they formed basically right before the sale, and then as far as we can tell, they haven't really done anything since.
Is that a creepy bald man in front of you, or is that your knee?
It's my beautiful knee.
Okay. I was like, whoa. Some kind of creepy bald man is like walking up in front between the desk.
He's got his head in my lap.
Yeah. What's going on?
Why is there a bald man's head in your lap? Well, where do you keep your bald men?
That's not this kind of show. So I wanted a mental health addiction campus at the old Ball Corp facility on Macedonia, but I didn't get a chance to speak those ideas because Dan left me off the committee. That is exactly right. So let's talk about how this goes down. So this gets brought up. A bunch of people's egos are involved, and all this shit is going crazy. And then here's Troy Ingram, who's an everyday American citizen, everyday Hoosier, everyday Munsonian, doing his thing. And he just wants to help people. And he was like, yo, all of our lives have been touched by addiction. I want to be able to help people. I want to be able to be involved with this. And, he asked his fellow council member, who's the president of the council, to, he's like, I want to be on the ground floor of getting this done. Jeff, to his credit, asks Ridenour to include Troy. Ridenour's like, yeah, we'll do that. We got a place right for him. Way down here in the corner in the back room, sit down, shut up. You are to be seen and not heard. And what Dan did to Troy was ridiculous. Like, literally cut him out of everything. It was ridiculous. And so Troy was not able to express any of his ideas or his thoughts. Or, I would have to think that Troy would have not brought or thought of any of this. This is nonsense.
Well, he didn't want much of the council all involved in this one.
No, he doesn't want
like most of his deals
involved in anything. It is a Dan won't be at the council meeting in December. I'm sure he won't be. Absolutely.
He'll be pooping.
Yeah. So I don't know. Hey, Dan, quit eating whatever it is that you're eating. They keep talking about him having food poisoning. I wish they'd quit saying that, because that makes I'll be real honest. What that does is it makes people think conspiracy stuff because no one has food poisoning for 2 weeks.
Well, it does when every day for lunch you eat shrimp out of the trunk of your car. Hey, you want some of this trunk shrimp?
Yeah, that's Ivy's bringing it to him. Man, Ivy's got like a lead stomach. He eats those trunk shrimp every day.
Trunk shrimp. Eating rotten gnarly fingers.
God, tell me if
Mike
you
Jones
guys would what?
Finger blasting his mouth? What does that mean?
If you guys would wear a shirt that said the political spotlight trunk shrimp, I would figure out a way to make that. We get it, we could sell it. Trunk shrimp. That seems like an official hashtag. That's the very first thing that I felt comfortable with. Trunk shrimp.
Trunk shrimp.
Yeah. Like that is a good. That's like the new, we share custody with that other channel, with the bastard, but he's like growing up, and that kid, he's kind of got an attitude. He wants a tattoo and a nose ring. So we're sending him to his dad for a while to straighten him up. But I feel like the new little guy for the show would be like a Trump Shrimp Joe.
Trump Shrimp Joe.
Yeah, like that's hell. I can send you the shrimp for a boil. Can you make sure they're in a trunk for a while?
Oh, I know. I want to meet Kid Rock makes things.
Yes.
Trunk shrimp yard flags and stuff.
Yes, that's amazing. I was 11,000 off. So here is
technically, if you include the edit money there, Joey, you were only $1,000 off.
Oh
yeah, right. Yeah, you're right. Grand total of $289,283.38 over a 12-month period for a building that will be torn down. And Sherry Carmack said, what happens if we find out when we find out that this building is just going to be torn down? Folks, it is going to be torn down.
And that's going to be an additional cost.
It is going to be an additional cost. Listen, the city of Muncie just proposed a building in which 6 men and / women will be sleeping in. That's supposed to be costing nearly $8 million. This building will have overnight beds for people to stay there for 23 hours for 14 people plus employees. So shouldn't that mean this is going to cost almost nearly $20 million?
Yeah, but it's just taxpayer money. Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? It's just taxpayer money. It's not Dan's money. Dan seriously spends money exactly like that. Like he spends money like he's spending somebody else's money. It's cause he is.
I mean, in fairness, that's how most politicians do, but still.
Sure, yeah, they're all doing that. But yeah, next Wednesday, circle your calendars. 22nd, my butt will be at the Board of Works meeting because they're going to be opening bids. They're going to be opening bids to tear this building down and to build a new building back. Now, why they're going to do that? Why they don't? I mean, I almost was going to say I wish they would just walk away and cut the losses at what they are and go find another space. But then I would almost be mad. It's like, man, we paid all that money and nothing's going to happen. Yeah, didn't he seem super excited about those bids? He talked about this. He talked about this yesterday at the Board of Works meeting from yesterday. And it was very strange that he was like, next week we're going to have bids on this Muncie Crisis Center. it's like, I don't know.
Still trying to start the whole thing.
Yeah, right.
We're like 300 grand in and haven't even started.
Right. Yeah.
Which is absurd.
Here's this.
You to take those under advisement. The architect and I will check them out, make sure the bids have been submitted properly, and we'll come back with a recommendation one way or the other.
Excellent. Thank you.
And just as another note, we'll have bids again next week for Muncie Crisis Center.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Is there any other new business to come before the?
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen here. So this is really big, folks. Dan Ridenour has spent this morning. Dan was at the MRC meeting, updating on the accounts discussion about building new housing projects around the corner. Yes. Yeah, Sherry, that did happen because Linda said this is from U.S. Architects, which, keep in mind, is one of the people that's involved with all of this. And someone's like, no, it's Pride Mark. And she's like, oh, yeah, sorry, this is Pride Mark. That's exactly right, Annie. Next week, we will have the bids. Wink, smirk, finger. Sounds like a fun Saturday night. Yeah. So I have actually not been able to watch the MRC meeting. Jackie, did Dan talk about this project? Did Dan talk about that? I mean, I guess we can quickly go through his little spiel. We don't have to watch it all, but we can listen to a jump through of what his plan is.
Right.
You're right, big man. Trying.
We're live. So,
You're absolutely right.
November 16th, Muncie Redevelopment Commission meeting. All right. Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Commissioner.
Okay,
We have spent some of those on those particular areas, but that's still there.
Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Commissioner Probella?
It's kind of the financial review.
Yeah.
As you can see, we have before the TIF districts were consolidated years ago, but there were funds that have to be allocated to those areas. Those are never changing. We have spent some of those on those particular areas, but that's still there.
Yep.
You can see the balances in the various parts. And when you get down to parks, that's probably the one where there was some activity this past month. And I'm going to read a little bit from the Neighborhood Association. They are just very thrilled with what's happening at Jack's Park in particular. So the old CVS that was on McGalliard, behind there, toward a dead-end street is where Jack's Park is. Now, it does connect to a couple of the neighborhoods through walking paths, but that's really the only way you can get to it is off of McGalliard going down, and I don't remember the name of the street, but right next to the old CVS, you can get to Jack's Park. So we've been revamping that. Part of the money that the MRC made available to those 10 parks went to Jack's Park, which was $80,000. It's down to $65,000 now, but there is now a walking path in there, which we think promotes healthy activity, and it has been utilized quite a bit. We're real excited about that. But this is from that neighborhood president, just kind of mentioning some of the things that they're thrilled about. The concrete bases have now been put in for a small shelter and the new playground equipment. They've already done the path, as I mentioned. There's some of the trees have been planted. The others maybe are spring trees that live better if they're planted in the spring, but there's a number of trees that'll be going in and around that
Okay, enough.
to 25,000 from them for their park. And
This is very important. I would tell people to watch this, and I'm going to watch it. And if there's anything drastic that he says, you know, I'll find out, and we'll come back and watch it and go through it. I'm just wanting to see if there's anything that he says in connection with this. And
I will tell
that phone call I got was information about something at the later part of this.
tell you that the current building finished. So I think the current building is still 100% leased, and they're start leasing those. They already have equipment and adding some other pieces around it. And we will be maintaining it. And that'll be part of the lease thing that we'll have to work out with Ball State. But hopefully I'll have that finalized tonight, and I can finish up the paperwork with Ball State. White River Lofts met earlier this week with WS Properties, and I will tell you that the current building is still 100% leased, and they're very pleased about that. So they have no openings. They've got some leases that expire in May, and they're already working on those. So there's great activity, and I've applied. So in this particular case, we were able to put it together without any tax abatements, which we're excited about. But this has a number of MRC lots in it that is due to close in December, and they will start construction in 24. So they received the okay with the state in the spring. Then they've been doing their due diligence, making sure there aren't any challenges, and are soon. So we're real excited about that. So I think that there's two off of South Mulberry and South Walnut, and then two on Southport, and one on Memorial, I think, will be the first 5 that will be available for rental. Southern Terrace, if you remember, this is a development that we received state tax credits on. The developer received state tax credits on. We also participated primarily through edit. This is one that we've advanced enough that we didn't, in this particular case, we were able to put it together without any tax abatements, which we're excited about. But this has a number of other 20 single family homes that'll be going up on MRC lots, primarily in Whiteley neighborhood, industry neighborhood.
Getting calls daily on how do I get this home, or at the certain address, or how do I get one in this neighborhood?
Yeah, we've had people say, because some of the signs that City View put up said this, and they went by their lot numbers, so lot 10 or Silver Birch. Format as with the City View homes.
We're gonna have
after 15 years, they will be
on
8, and then 90 days after that, close on another. Move to other business?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes, please.
So for Ready 2.0, we are looking at a block of, so we are working with Ball State and are very
Ready 2.0.
confident that it scores highly, partly on University, Monday and Thursday. I couldn't get it done.
My question is, what is the ask from us?
Yeah.
Well, we own the land.
Is the land for
There will
sale?
be, is the land listed for sale?
Is it? No. Is it for sale? Is that what we're talking about? The sale?
Well,
Why do they act
and
so
Gilbert.
weird?
And so you have it there. I don't know if you guys want to come up, or do you want to wait and see if there are questions?
We're ready if there's questions.
My first
Because
question,
Dan
Mayor,
hands him the paperwork
for
when he
you, I
walks in the
guess.
room and expects him to stamp it then. So they actually have no fucking clue what's going on.
What'd you say?
I said, that's because Dan hands him the paperwork when he walks in the room. They have no fucking clue what's going on. They
Yeah.
just, oh, okay, great, awesome.
Yeah.
It's Dan, so stamp.
That was such a weird just interaction there. Let's take that back here and just watch that for a second.
And that is what this particular developer provided to us, which was, I think it's 28 units in total. which would all be ownership opportunities in that whole block between Franklin, Liberty, Washington, and Gilbert.
Okay.
And so you have it there. I don't know if you guys want to come up, or do you want to wait and see if there are questions?
We're ready if there's questions.
My first question, Mayor, is kind of for you, I guess, just to clarify for me. So
I've never heard this guy say
this proposal is for building them. Would the city then own them and sell them, or?
No, the developer would own them and sell them.
So I think the question, my question is, what is the ask from us?
Yeah.
Well, we own the land.
Is the land for
There will
sale?
be, is the land listed for sale?
Is it, no, is it for sale? Is that what we're talking about? The sale?
Well, that is all to be determined.
Okay.
Yeah.
If this is the type of project you want, then let's start those discussions. I asked them to provide something that could show what we were looking for, which was home ownership in the downtown market in that block.
Okay.
They came up with a lot more units than what others had talked about.
Why
That
does
we are
everything
very
always
interested in
so
doing.
Weird.
We have no interest whatsoever in rental properties, maintaining, renting, anything, period. So our entire focus at this point is to just provide new homeownership opportunities downtown.
And so what is your guys' thought process? I mean, are you wanting to buy the land and build on that? I mean, what?
Where does that guy directly out of like a TV, like sitcom or something? Who is he? What is the deal?
No.
Yeah, yes, Jackie. He's talking about the Canal District area is what they're talking about. This guy's like, well, golly.
Ryan, that's not what Dan was thinking. You want to know what Dan was thinking right there?
Trunk shrimp, yeah.
Waiting for him out in the parking lot.
Is amazing. Why hasn't the land been put up for requests for proposals? Yeah, right. Why has that not been happened? Trunk shrimp. That's amazing. I'm going to do so much with that. Oh, God.
That's my solid 20 seconds of work there.
That's definitely good.
Continue the discussion on that.
Yeah, right now the goal is to buy the land, to build on the land and sell the properties, but there's a lot of discussion to happen between now and then.
And there was nothing.
If I may, generally speaking, the way these have worked in the past, similar with some of the other projects that you've done downtown but around town, is the redevelopment commission owns and controls the land. You put out a request for proposal, which is just asking developers to put together it. Actually, put some pictures together and some schematics on what they would like to develop. Statutorily, you have the ability to not only sell the land, but put whatever, just as any other landowner would, what any other types of requirements as to what they would build, what they can't build, what it would be, what the use would be for single family, multi-family.
Yada 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 yada.
Yeah, the way this usually works is you give Dan whatever loose change
built,
you have in your pocket, and he'll give you $100,000 to develop
having more discussion about what fits.
In 40 years,
and then
might see some tax dollars from it.
Nobody has to work in the model that you guys have for what you can build and what the returns need to be and what the saleability is and things like that, and then come back and right.
Come back to the commission would be, if things move forward, would be that economic development agreement that would, like others we've done before, would have all of the terms, all the requirements, the financing, whatever it is that needs to be done to bring forward the development would be in that document.
Yeah.
So so I think, like I say, and you have some real high points of a couple things I think that to think about, but I think
Listen to
I don't want to say it's confusion, but we have people come in and say, we want to buy this lot, we want to build, and, you know, we want tax abatements. And so I think, you know, that happens. So I think, you know,
they're always so guarded. They're so afraid they're going to say the wrong thing and they're going to, you know, spill the beans, let the cat out of the bag, or whatever other euphemism you want to say. They're always so afraid that they're going to talk out of school and say the wrong thing that they always sound so guilty as sin.
I'm trying to kind of figure out where we were with this, whether there was a, you know, an ask to move forward on something.
Asked to move forward.
And a more complete proposal. But yeah, I think I don't know. I don't want to say it's confusion, but we have people come in and say, we want to buy this lot, we want to build, and, you know, we want tax abatements. And so I think, you know, that happens. So I think, you know, trying to kind of figure out where we were with this, whether there was a, you know, an ask to move forward on something, and a more complete proposal.
Don't move any ass forward on me,
Commissioner
please.
Tomlin?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagley?
Yes.
Step, but so we'll bank, which is becoming
Wagley. What do you want me to do, Dan? Okay, yeah.
At the same time, we've been kind of developing and
All right, here's the land bank information.
do as a tool, eco rehab. That's
We'll do it as a tool.
So I'm challenging if we don't.
Materializing back there.
I did want to say that we had on
weird.
December. I know that
He just got done eating the trunk shrimp.
kind of
Yeah.
dumped a lot
Why
on there.
is Dan particularly even
love to have
involved in
lots
this?
of
Can't these people just go to the MRC and ask them if they can buy the land?
What'd you say now?
Why is Dan so involved in all these freaking deals anyway?
conversations, but it's kind of one of
Is that common for a mayor to be so involved with all these people are wanting to buy land? Oh, what's Kate wanting me to look at?
Well, no, sir. No, it's not. But he's the MRC director.
Where the hell? Oh, did they just vote for it?
All right, let's go look and see if they did. I think let's go look and see if they did.
Sorry, I was yakking over it, Andy. I apologize.
More building, you know, whatever it is, but then they can give you those options and those.
Thank you, Andy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I think, you know, like I said, and you have some real high points of a couple things I think that to think about, but yeah, I think I don't know. I don't want to say it's confusion, but we have people come in and say, we want to buy this lot, we want to build, and, you know, we want tax abatements. And so I think, you know, that happens. So I think, you know, trying to kind of figure out where we were with it.
This dude is confusing the hell out of me.
Yeah.
We take comments now, or should I wait until later?
We take comments at the end normally, Ed.
Okay,
Yeah.
it would be in reference to this.
I mean, if it's in reference.
Yeah.
Let's not do anything that makes sense. You know, we're going to vote on this, so let us vote, and then we'll take your comments after we vote at the end, because that makes sense.
Yeah, I really have some concerns.
So,
I'd like to raise those with you before you vote on it. Yeah, well, that's not the time that we raise concerns. Raise concerns after Dan gets what he wants.
Well, listen to what he's getting ready to do here. I make a
A
motion.
motion that we put a subcommittee together to discuss further action on
Okay.
Canal Commons.
second.
Okay. So we'll do it in order here. So Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Parbella,
Yes.
Commissioner Tomlin,
Yes.
Commissioner Wagley.
Yes.
I vote yes. So we will establish a subcommittee.
Okay,
and then-
so they didn't vote for it. They're establishing the subcommittee to be the Dan ass kisser.
And
So is Isaac Miller still on the MRC?
What?
Is Isaac Miller still on the MRC?
No,
Oh, is this a different Miller?
no, that's Isaac Miller.
Oh, I thought he
Yeah.
was done with everything because he went and did some other wonderful job.
Well, I think he realized that he wasn't going to get a run for city council, so it wasn't fun to play pretend anymore.
Oh, okay.
So he just stepped down. He got another job, and apparently he wasn't allowed to do city government stuff except for this. So you tell
Apparently.
me why that makes sense.
Yep, that's the whole point, big man. It's just as
Available
dirty.
and
We're
willing
not going back to the old ways,
to
big man.
serve on that.
We're not going back
I
to
can.
the
I
big
feel like
ways.
That's kind of my part.
Okay.
On this committee, so.
Who else
Yeah,
will
so
be
it's
able to
going
do
to
that?
the subcommittee for things that are less visible because there are no videos of that.
So Commissioner Probella.
Is that Matt Wagley on the far left?
Thank you.
That's what's going to
Yeah,
be my
who?
Are there two Wagleys on this, or is it just Shireen?
No, this is Shireen Wagley here. Squidward, which is the Matt Wagley, is upstairs screwing things up in the controller's office. This is Shri Probella or something like that. I don't know what his name is.
Well, that's my favorite mushroom.
Shri Probella.
Yeah.
I'm
You ever had one of those?
for the two
Yeah.
of you.
I think that's
And
him.
just to add, we're
And
both from here. We all live here.
Yeah.
We all want the best for Muncie. And our intention is to start a conversation how we can all.
We
achieve that.
we appreciate your interest in it, and they say sorry for the
We want
shuffling
what's
here.
best
but I
for
think we
Muncie
just,
because we know Dan will sell it to us dirt fucking cheap and we can
Yeah.
clean house on it.
And
Yeah.
Justin Bieber is not from Muncie, so I don't believe it for a second.
Yeah, right. And the guy from Fallout Boy.
Yeah.
I don't really understand what's going on.
They're trying to be confusing. Yeah, it seems like it.
and maybe because we didn't do it all in one meeting, we leapt to the next step. But so we'll get together. We'll make sure you have our contact information, and we can get together and have a discussion about that. I guess a couple of insights have probably been gained today. So
What?
Perfect. We'll be available for anything you need.
Thank
okay,
you.
great.
Thank you.
Can I recommend the mayor be a part of that subcommittee as well?
Of course you can.
Can recommend it. You got to make them go.
I gotta make him go.
I'll make sure he's there.
So bring your friend.
All right. Mr. Howard, you want to give us an update on the Muncie Land Bank, which is becoming well known across the nation?
That's true. Good morning.
Good morning.
Nate Howard, Muncie Land Bank.
What?
Maybe a few others I'm not remembering right now.
All right. Public comments.
Now let's listen to what his.
I don't know if we written names down.
I didn't get it up there
Oh,
probably early enough. So I don't know if anybody did.
So to speak.
Nobody on the list anyway.
Ed Knetzer, FC Tucker. Listening to the conversation about the RFP, the first in usually has a problem with the second or third or fourth in, and that is it's almost intellectual property. When you create an RFP, it's your concept of vision. Well, that vision sounds pretty good, but someone can come in and nitpick it and work with it. I would only ask that you give these guys some assurance that you're not going to work with someone else until you fully vet this or at least look at this. I think it's important to protect them. I think that their concept, they're the only ones that provided an RFP.
What was
And I
up
think it
on
would
the
be
screen?
good if you can incorporate or could incorporate in protecting them.
I'll direct them there then.
Great.
Okay.
Nobody on the list anyway.
Ed Knetzer, FC Tucker. Listening to the conversation about the RFP, the first in usually has a problem with the second or third or fourth in, and that is it's almost intellectual property. When you create an RFP, it's your concept of vision.
Mhm.
Well, that vision sounds pretty good, but someone can come in and nitpick it and work with it. I would only ask that you give these guys some assurance that you're not going to work with someone else until you fully vet this or at least look.
What's up on the screen right there? What does that say? Should they not maybe fix that, City of Muncie?
I mean,
Are we kidding?
Dude. Please.
Christopher, you're being unintentionally racist again.
I am?
Kind of, yeah.
You're the one that put it up on the screen and played through it and stopped it and showed it to everybody. Yeah.
But no, I'm not. I'm just saying, like, they need to, like, take care of this. They, like, their shit needs to, like, not do that, I would say, because he didn't even say anything about it. Like, I don't know what he said. That's crazy.
I think it's important to protect them. I think that their concept, they're the only ones that provide.
But furthermore, after the craziness from the closed captioning from the city of Muncie, whichever one's running that today. Yes, this is Ed Knatzer. This is the gentleman who came on the show and we didn't say anything like that when he came on the show. He came on and he defended the Workman's bar purchase. And if you catch what he's doing here, I kind of thought for a moment that he was going to take issue with these guys. Oh, no. He's wanting to ensure that the city of Muncie gives a promise to these people that they will work with them. And I'm like,
well, it's weird because his whole argument is that coming up with a proposal to build on land is intellectual property. Like, someone else couldn't have thought of the genius idea of, if we buy land, we can build something on it and then sell it. Isn't that his argument?
Yeah, right.
Don't let them come up with this idea and then let someone else swoop in and go, wait a minute, you're right. We could build something.
That's exactly.
We'd like to do it.
I'm going to tell you, I have not watched this video until this evening. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. As soon as I'm off of this show tonight, I'm going to figure out how these three guys are connected, because I'm willing to bet you that they are connected. A request for proposal is supposed to be public. It isn't just two guys coming in and saying, we want to do this, and then the city being told by a former commissioner and now a realtor that you've got to make a promise that you will work with these guys. This is nuts.
I did an RFP, and I think it would be good if you can incorporate or could incorporate in protecting them to some degree until you vet their ideas or look at this. If you wanted to suggest an RFP that Ben or someone could do, that you want to itemize all the things you want in the RFP is different. But this was more thrown out for an RFP to look at what's the best use or what's a good use for that area. I think they've come up with a concept. I just like to see them be protected if possible while you're looking at this, instead of someone coming in at the.
That's not the city's job. The city's job is to protect the citizens from insanity that could be weird. What is this?
Next
we need to make sure that somebody else doesn't come in and pay more for the land and benefit the taxpayers.
Yeah, pay more for the land, ask for less from the city.
RFP would like to present to you. I know there's no absolute protection, but at least something to consider.
Sit down, Ed.
We had an open RFP period and it's closed. So do we need to accept this proposal or them separately than just making the committee?
I mean, Dan told you to, so it would be a good way to do it.
Terms for the transfer and use of the land.
Okay.
We ultimately have to get to a proposal that the MRC accepts, and that I'm going to say this. I don't want you to take this. This is just a fact. If we don't get a proposal that the MRC accepts, then we just don't accept it.
Right.
And we'll continue to pursue one. So,
Damn.
but yeah.
What would your
But for
what
now,
would
the
your
RFP
position
is
be now?
closed, right? The
RFP is
RFP
closed.
is
RFP
closed.
period is
We have one
closed.
proposal, and we're working.
What in the hell is going on, for the love of God?
Yeah, what's with the vest?
We're working.
Yeah.
And you're going to work with them
And
Yeah.
on this RFP.
so if
Okay.
we, yeah,
That's-
so if
that's
we
We
fine.
can't work with anybody else.
That's what we said, yeah.
Torso is
That's
cold.
what we've done.
Yeah.
We've established a committee to
Yeah.
work with them.
Okay.
You can always reopen.
Nate Howard,
the
I think,
RFP.
and the land bank's doing one hell of a job. And I think they need to be commended for what they're doing in the community. And I would hope that the county would be more proactive in working with the city and the land bank. The county controls the property only because the taxes, they hold a lien on the property, or they put the property in tax sale, but it recycles through the tax sale over and over and over. And to find a opportunity for those people to utilize the land bank and the city in a much more effective way would only make sense.
Thank you.
It's 100% working with these
I
guys.
have
Helps
one other
me
comment,
know
if
all
I
this
could,
off
real
the top of
quick.
his
We have a
head.
2-minute limit, Ed. Sorry.
Sorry.
Shut up, Ed. Time's up. You just got Bilbrey, buddy. 2 minutes, you're done.
I can't even. I mean, at least they do it to their friends too. Like,
Oh,
what?
2 minute them.
Yeah, what would have hurt? I mean, I'm not a big fan of Ed, but I would have liked to have heard his weirdness. Like,
Look at that line of people behind him, man. They got to get to all those people
yeah, it's
back
like
there.
top. We gotta roll this through. You know, we've been here for an hour.
There's people out the door.
If we let you talk, we'd have to let Bilbrey talk. Sorry. So that's the thing.
Yeah, God forbid
But
we let you finish. He's making good points. I mean, whether you agree with them or not, he's putting forward information.
Yeah, right.
So
He's not just rambling nonsense.
have any commissioner comments?
He was so
Been
happy.
working with the city and the land bank. The county controls the property only because the
Yes.
taxes, they hold a lien on the property, or they put the property in tax sale, but it recycles through the tax sale over and over and over. And to find a opportunity for those people to utilize the
gentleman on
land
the right
bank
said
and the
he's talking
city
about
in a
that.
much more effective way would only make sense.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Shut up, old man.
I have one other
Shut up.
comment, if I could, real quick.
Well, we
I
have a
said
2-minute limit.
thank you.
Ed. Sorry.
Sorry.
Look how excited he is in telling him that. Like,
Yep.
he's so excited. We're shutting you down. We don't care to hear from the public. I've not been this excited since prom night.
No thanks, Ed. Shut your suck hole. Moving
Yeah.
on.
Dude,
So
what was that? He laughed and then sucked in really weird. These people are freaks.
Gotta get to
all
lunch.
right.
He's got trunk trip waiting on him. He ain't got time for
How
this.
many-
He forgot he was in the middle of a
Commissioner
meeting
Com-
and wasn't actually sucking Dan's dick at that moment. That was the
That's-
sound.
I think the only thing I had was I just want to say thank you to you guys for submitting something in the RFP. I didn't get to say this
Oh my
earlier,
God.
but there's oftentimes
Yes, please,
confusion
Zachariah.
about how the city or how the MRC deals with developers in general. I think just by the public, because it's a complicated process and people don't get it. And
What? Now this guy is telling the public how stupid they are? I'm telling you, if you looked up smug in the dictionary, you would see Isaac's beard.
Just his beard?
Yeah, just his beard.
so it just should
And
be
it's stupid life preserver.
really kind of, I think, highlighted by us. We had one developer submit something, and so now we're working with that one developer. If we had more developers submit something to consider, we would have considered and had more options. And again, that's just a fact. That's not any reflection of them or any other developer in any part of the country. So I just wanted to highlight that and say that, we did have one person submit something. So now we have a path forward on an area that we want to develop, that we want to get
Then
done.
why did everybody seem so
hopefully that's an
weird?
encouragement to other developers on future projects. RFPs go out all the time. Submit something and see what happens. Because I know for a fact this administration wants to work with you. We want to work with you to make our city better. So just want to say thank you for just throwing your name out there and submitting this. And
I love how frequently he talks on behalf of the administration. That happens so frequently.
Hopefully we'll figure out what happens in the next few months. So that's all I had.
When Dan tells us what happens.
I would like to say we've got a lot of housing coming in, a lot of new. I like that. I think that brings in developers and individuals that then help build those communities and really upgrade those communities. Nate, I'm excited about your Old West End project. I like the fact that you invited people from the county to go to convention with you and help build that relationship.
Development and design. But, you know, as we've talked about a variety of projects and economic development and those kind of things, and really what this book talks about, I'm really kind of buying into it. Really what it talks about
is one of Dan's
the objective
books?
Is for the community to be happy where they're at, be happy how they live, be happy with the, and happiness is always kind of fleeting because as human beings, we're never fully satisfied with anything. But it's really interesting, the things it talks about, and as we've
GOMM,
I think, but it really talked about
the
cost of commute.
If you're in the audience, the next time they start doing that, if you're in the audience and they just start rambling that, just be like, "Up, your time's up.
2 minutes.
Shut up."
Yeah, what's the deal with that? What is
Yeah,
the deal with that? So he gets to go on and on and on, bloviate for 4 minutes talking about one of Dan's books he read?
Not the financial cost, the well-being cost, the cost of relationships with children, the cost of interactions with school teachers and things like that. All those things that are lost for people who drive so far away. Not only how we proselytize that so people understand, but maybe the fact that we'll have 350 new places for people to live at some point in the not too distant future.
What's the name of the book you're
Find
reading?
however you want, but
Secret Catalog?
we do create an opportunity for people to live in Muncie. And if you look at the pros and cons, which I do as I go through this book in my mind, go through the pros and cons, there's every reason. Small town, small commute, small town, small city, small commute, safe, things to do. Again, always kind of fleeting. Everybody wants something that they don't have. That seems to be kind of human nature, but it's really interesting. But I would encourage, if anybody is inclined to do that, to look at that Happy City. And I think I've got the author's name down here. Maybe
Dr. Seuss, I believe.
Charles Montgomery. So it's really interesting, but it's really about human nature, and then what really is the objective. And
it's called Everybody Poops. That was the book.
Talking to somebody else about this the other day. It's kind of like when we have our children and we think about what we want them to do to be successful. And of course, our mind jumps to whether it's the Nobel Prize or a big house or whatever. We just want them to be happy. And it'll be happy. Happy will be achieved for everybody a little bit differently, but that seems to be kind of the primary goal. And I think a lot of what we've done have been trying to figure out how to make Muncie a place for people to be happy, to be, and to enjoy their lives. And the economics are a big part of getting that to be there, but that's the goal.
I don't know. Have I ever heard of a city that spent its time wanting their citizens to be miserable, unhappy, living in the streets and, dying?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen someone
LA.
Such an original concept he's got there.
Yeah, right.
I've never heard someone take so long to say nothing.
Yeah, right. That was a Clay Morgan answer if I've ever heard one. Clay Morgan, you ought to rip off this guy next time instead of the Cialis commercials.
Repair and restoration and the same buyer.
Dude,
they said
he's
that
still
property
talking.
it probably $200,000. Public comments over, Ed.
Crap.
Sorry. We've got a protocol here. We have to
what
lines in place. Those timelines were supposed to be met. They weren't met, and therefore the deal did not happen. But those are the terms and conditions that we made the deal, and that's the reason we made the deal the way we made it. it has come up over and over and over again, and I'm sure it'll come up again, but I'm going to go on the record as saying we took the offer that made the most sense and was least harmful to the people who other folks who made offers, and it didn't work out. But
harmful.
That's where we are. Public comments over. Ed, sorry. We've got a protocol here we have to follow. We have to do that every
Yeah, we
meeting.
didn't have any time
So,
as I ramble on for 10 minutes.
Question then. What's the status at 225? What's the status today?
The status today is the property belongs to us.
And why is there a billboard sign on our property?
We'll have to answer that later.
Pardon?
So we'll have to answer those.
What's a public meeting? I mean,
Right, but our comments are over.
Comment section's over.
It's just our protocol.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
That's absurd.
you can prophesize for a half hour.
yes, that's true. So, okay, I don't have anything else. Anybody else have anything?
No.
Okay, in my opinion, we've concluded our business for the day, so I am going to adjourn the meeting. Any objections? We are adjourned. I expected it would come up again today, but I'm going to respond because it was in an email.
That's the baloney.
The other thing is older buildings and homes present sometimes big challenges in terms of repair and restoration.
Why is he talking? He incorrectly adjourned the
we
meeting.
depend on private development investment for our community to evolve, and private developers will invest
I love nice. Yeah, protocol.
efficiently
Shut up.
and effectively. And sometimes properties can't be redeveloped or can't be restored efficiently and effectively. And then we can't expect people to make investments that won't make sense. Be nice if they did. Be nice if they rebuild old houses the way we like them, whether they ever made money or not, but they just won't. So we need people to understand. We all appreciate some of the old architecture and some of the things that, the character of some of these old homes. But once they get beyond the point of being able to be repaired efficiently and effectively, it can't be done. The Madison Street gas station comes up from time to time, and I expected it would come up again today, but I'm going to respond because it was in an email. The intent of the commission was to accept the best bid for that property. In this case, it happened to be the highest bidder, and reflected a realistic understanding of the scale of the project and the resources necessary to restore the property to a functional state. I personally had conversation with two people that looked at that property. One was a potential buyer, one was the contractor, and actually not the contractor for the same buyer. They said that property, it probably $200,000 to restore that property in the condition that it should be. We had bids for people that, wanted to pay $500 and had $20,000 to put in it. We don't see that as practical, and we don't see that. We feel like if we do that, we set people up for financial failure, and we can't do that. And so we put together a deal with someone who demonstrated they had the resources to get it done, demonstrated they had an understanding of what it took to get it done. There were timelines in place. Those timelines were supposed to be met. They weren't met, and therefore the deal did not happen. But those are the terms and conditions that we made the deal, and that's the reason we made the deal the way we made it. And it has come up over and over and over again, and I'm sure it'll come up again. But I'm going to go on the record as saying we took the offer that made the most sense and was least harmful to the people who other folks who made offers, and it didn't work out. But that's where we are. Public comments over. Ed, sorry. We've got a protocol here we have to follow.
We have to follow, but by what? By who? Who?
Okay, I had a question, but yeah, who's setting that protocol?
Yeah, I don't understand.
Like, you guys can make your own rules. You can't just have a conversation with. I understand if he's like off topic or he's being like Well, I don't care if he's being crazy, but if he's off topic and repeating, like that's a general rule, like you're saying the same thing over and over again, it's like, okay, you're not moving forward, and he's got a line of people behind him. He's asking a bunch of legitimate questions and making some, I feel like legitimate conversation, at least.
Yeah. Okay, so you know who these people are here. He's the president. This is Gretchen Cheeseman's sister. She is the what's
Is she like Mike Pence's brother?
yeah, right. Yeah. So I'm ready for him to stop playing with his pen under the desk. Okay, so then here's this one last time. Why does she get so pissy?
We have to do that every meeting. So
I'll ask the question then. What's the status of 225? What's the status today?
the status today is the property belongs to us.
And why is there a billboard sign on our property?
Finish your comments, she just said to him.
We'll have to answer that later.
I love when people whisper into a microphone.
Right, but our comments are over.
Comment section's over.
It's just our protocol.
Yeah. So
sorry.
2 minutes and you've been prophesized for a half hour.
Yes, that's true.
Why is he so happy?
So
he seems
okay.
so
I don't have anything else. Anybody else have anything?
Yep.
No. Okay. In my opinion, we've concluded our business for the day, so I am going to adjourn the meeting. Any objections? We are adjourned.
In your opinion, who gives a shit about your opinion?
Well, yeah, right. Why did you not vote? Why I always hate when they do that. Linda does the same thing when she gets a little testy, when someone tries to push back just a little bit and tries to ask for shit and do things the right way. She's like, well, I'm just going to shut the meeting down. And it's like, no, you don't get to do that.
Joey's cracking me up. You're really worried about his D getting asked.
I'm telling you, man, those people, that is so infuriating. And what I don't even like Ed can answer. Let the dude speak. What would it have hurt? Like Jeff Howell talked. He started talking. Okay. Isaac stopped. Okay. Here, I'm going to tell you how long.
Too long.
All right. 1 hour, 1 minute. 1 hour, 1 minute, and 53 seconds is when he starts talking. So 1:01:53. And he stops talking.
He's still going, and this is what the legends say.
Okay, and he stops talking at 1:10:39. So he literally for 9.5 minutes after having the whole hour of meeting. Who goes off the MRC when the council takes over? Isaac Miller. Isaac Miller comes off, and Gretchen Cheeseman's sister comes off. She does. Lorraine Tomlinson. So those two people come off, and the council puts in new people.
Oh,
so those are the what?
So she does have a name.
Yeah, I hate that. So that's gross. Okay, before we wrap up here, I want you to be able to talk about these park thing. So everybody, you recall back when the City of Muncie put out their incredibly ignorant park information saying that all of a sudden during Dan's campaign, they were saying, our parks are being visited by millions of people a day. Huzzah. And they put up a really stupid graph that showed like 2 data points. And it's like, you really couldn't get anything from that. Brandon was really concerned about this. I issued a records request, and you want to kind of take it away from there, Brandon?
Oh, sorry, I was spacing out. Oh, about the you want me to take it from there?
MRC, yeah. I mean, you want to so just your concern with the park data points and that graph.
Oh, well, first of all, the park data points were just silly because I don't know why you make a graph when you only have 2 points. I mean, you can just say that in a sentence. The graph's kind of pointless. Like, it's like, yeah, why are there 2 data points? Just say it increased by a percentage or by a number. Say, oh, well, there's since 2023, park attendance has increased by, I don't know what that is, 25-ish% or something. You just say that. Also, they put a trend line on here for some reason, which also doesn't make sense because you can't form a trend line between 2 points because it's always just going to be a straight line. It makes no sense.
Yeah, right. And are they literally saying that the park was visited 869,075 times?
Well, I don't know, Christopher, because they didn't even freaking label their axes there. It just had numbers. It didn't say what it was because it's a poorly labeled, terrible graph, and I hate it. It looks like someone threw it together on Excel in 2 seconds to campaign for Dan, but
that's exactly what it looks like. So
that's what it looks like to me.
I issued a records request way back in October because they came out and so many people, including Brandon, blasted the city for this extremely ignorant post. And I then said, I need to know what's going on here. The City of Muncie came out and said, wait, hold on, update. We got this information because we're tracking y'all's cell phones. Settle down. It's anonymous. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows when you're sleeping. No one's watching you when you're naked. It's just tracking you when you're, doing all of this, going in and out of parks. And I was like, wait a minute. How much did that cost? Are we paying for this? Is this something that we're paying for yearly? Did we pay for it once? So I asked a records request, and it took them months. They did not want to give me this information. And then after the election, I made a couple of really kind of shitty posts to Michelle Owens saying, hey, the election is over. Are you going to start answering questions finally? And today she sent me a private message on Messenger that said, thank you for your patience. I have sent you an email. And I was like, oh, well, I should be, I should be just so grateful that you would do such a thing. So I get this email that says, good afternoon, Chris. Thank you for your patience. I believe Micah has already been in touch with you. Okay, right here on the screen. To answer some of your questions regarding our geofencing service. In answer to your specific questions, what firm collected it? Placer AI. When was the data collected? It was collected and pulled. The data is pulled continuously and processed within a 3-day window. When did the city start this? Placer was discussed at the April 26th Board of Works meeting. How much does the city pay for this? $30,000.
$30,000 to know how many people didn't go to the park?
Yeah, right. I mean, it's insane. Yeah, absolutely insane. Out of what fund does the city pay for this? Why? Well, edit, of course.
Out of Dan's campaign fund. I mean, edit.
Yeah, right.
Same thing.
When was this discussed? The April 26th Board of Works meeting. All emails in connection to this data and all reports showing this data. I believe Micah has already addressed this, that this is too general of a request. I'm including the specific parks reports, one from 2017, which is as far back as the data goes, and one from 2023, the year to date. I took the liberty of pulling the most recent numbers, so it will likely be different than the data I pulled in September. The company compiled the chain data for us and several non-city parks included Mars Meadows, Daleville Splash Pad, etc. So I went through the data line by line to get accurate numbers. Let me know if you need my assistance reading the report. So then this is the information that we get from it. It shows how many visits to the Yorktown Sports Park, how many visits to Prairie Creek, how many visits to Mars Meadows, Heacon Park, McCullough, Toohey, Daleville, Westside Park, Thomas Park, Mansfield Park. This is January 1st, 2023 through November 13th, 2023. This is January 1st, 2017 through December 31st, 2017. That's the other thing.
What's interesting is this company already had the data. They charged $30,000 just to hand it to them, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure, we'll hand you some data for 30 grand. Sure.
Like, what kind of an economic guru is Dan Ridenour?
Because, well, now we know how many phones were pinged at the park at those given times.
Well, the part that bugs me is they said that they pulled the parks report for you. So what the hell else are they tracking?
Yeah. What she says, yeah. So hold on, step here. Look, oh, well, you went down. It says this. It says, where's it? Oh, right here. It says, as Mike has already addressed, that your request was too general. You know what I requested was all emails concerning all information that the company is giving the city of Muncie. Because they're trying to say all they're collecting is this park data. Why is that too? Why is that too? Why is that too big?
I guess
what are they giving?
So I guess the question now is, okay, I'll specify. I would like to know what data they're collecting not related to the parks. And if that's too general, then that's kind of scary.
Yeah.
That should be pretty specific.
Yeah. So here's what their graph was. No joshing, no joking. This is what it was. They said, look, I don't even believe this in 2019. I honestly cannot believe that they're saying 869,000 visits are occurring at the park. I just cannot wrap my mind around that. There's less than 60,000 people here. How does this make any sense? Look, they're saying, how are they able to be entitled to data for parks outside of Muncie?
Well, that's the other question I have. Are they paying for a county-wide report?
Right. Why would we be doing that? Are we paying for reports to, Yellowstone?
You know what else is interesting is they paid $30,000 to have all these years, and they were only going to report 2 years until we essentially insisted, until people were saying, can we please get the data for the other years?
Yeah.
So they paid for it, and they were just going to not give that to the taxpayers?
My question is, why? Why are we paying for this?
Because Dan wanted to get reelected.
I mean, yeah, that's it. I mean, this seems like for the city of Muncie to use it how they're using it. It seems like a really rather non-useful tool. Like, how else are they going to utilize this tool that costs either $30,000 one time or $30,000 yearly, or however long it is that they're doing this? It just does not seem like this is a sound investment. I just don't understand. It's very similar to what he's doing with Workman's Bar, or very similar to what he's doing with Southway Plaza, or very similar to what he's doing with Till Pond. Or, I mean, we can just keep saying or and or and or. It just keeps going on and on and on. It's insane that this is what he does. Now, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, Annie, Annie's saying there's no way 80,000 went to McCullough, and another 80,000 went to Westside, another 80,000 to Heakin. No way. I mean, really, this company can put any data they want. How are we going to prove otherwise? And the city just gives them $30,000. I mean, I'm not saying it's not true, but it definitely sounds weird to me. So I don't know. There's no real way to verify the data. It's not like they said, oh yeah, we saw 80,000 phones there. But then again, it's how many phones there. I mean, you can look at Heakin Park. If you drive down Hackley, you're driving right through the middle of the park. It should ping that you are visiting the park, but you're not. So normal traffic would probably be picked up on that. Now, or is it Heakin I'm thinking of?
Where?
What is the one? It is Heakin, the one behind like Garfield, where Garfield was.
Yeah.
What's it? Oh, Mansfield was the other one I was thinking of. Now, Mansfield, you're not going to have a lot of traffic through there.
No, but is it pinging everybody driving down the bypass?
Oh, that would, that'd drive the numbers up pretty high.
I mean, is it because the bypass is literally right on top of Mansfield Park.
Yeah,
so
that's
is
a good
it pinging like every person that drives by there? I'm just going to start driving up and down there, throwing their data away. It's crazy. So here's the Board of Works in which they talk about. Let's get through this.
Not a quite accurate description of the.
Not like the new ones.
Okay.
An authorization application.
On close and proximate fireworks that we get the fairgrounds in front of the grandstands.
Oh, that's John Brook.
I move approval of the noise exemption.
Noise exemption.
Necessitated by some levee work that MSD is doing and a federal project at the Kitzelman Trailhead.
All of 32 as it goes through Muncie.
Yes. The rehab of the rest of 32 starting currently, because NDOT mows once a year and mows are at Kilgore and Tillotson.
Motion.
Move.
I will entertain a motion for the flex space.
A move.
I'll second that. All in favor.
7 a.m. on the 3rd until 8 p.m.
A little under 1,600 feet.
Jesus.
1007 North Central, 3305 North Jefferson,
yes.
5302. 5 East Cornell.
I thought the same thing,
South
Joey.
Monroe.
It's like they're not sitting next to each
1003
other.
South. 517 South.
Come on, get to the pacer talk.
928.
I mean, I could do that, Karen. I charge less than 30 grand even.
Mike Frederick. 1007 North Highland, 15,006. 36. Okay. This is for Schroyer Trucking.
Good Lord.
I have an application for a street closing. We're trying to close that one lane going into the road. We also have roadblocks.
And what's the date on this again?
It is the street that
Is there going to be alcohol there?
From anyone?
Planning
move approval of the
single family detached house at 1413 West. You recommend approval.
My name is Mark Drum. I work for Complete Masonry Service. We are restoring the arch.
Good for you. Did you jump that, or was that all he said?
Do I get that in your office?
I jumped it.
The meeting is adjourned. Next up is the State Road 32.
Who trained
Not a quite accurate description.
And our usual healthcare claims and
Any questions or comments? on
So
this?
I don't see. So unless they talk about it here
All
in the
in favor,
claims,
say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same. Motion carries. Craig Wright, claims.
Dang it. We never thought Christopher would go look at the
morning.
meeting.
Good morning.
I know. Yeah, right.
really nothing unusual on the claims this week. It's kind of a short
Yeah,
list.
we'd like a road closure
answer a
for
couple questions,
gathering park
before the meeting
data.
started. We just had a couple larger purchases on page 5. We had a couple vehicle purchases for the fire department, and our usual healthcare claims and utilities. And with that, I'll open it up to any questions you might have.
Linda, you have any questions?
Yes. Well, I asked before the meeting, I believe it's on page 7. Muncie Sanitary District
That's not it.
had done some work for the Parks Department and said that it was a trash truck. And my question was, I didn't think we had trash trucks owned and operated by the city, but apparently
It's
that's
an old track, yeah.
it's kind of
The
a
parks.
not a quite accurate description of the
It's not like the
the
new
word.
ones.
Okay. That's all I was
Joe, you're a
concerned. I
little
didn't think
feisty
we
this
had
evening.
started a secondary trash.
Yeah, and it's actually, like I said,
Operation.
it benefits
Yeah, she is.
the city to get some of the work done over at the sanitary district just because of labor costs.
I just like how she says trace.
And I just had a quick question beforehand on page 5 for the service maintenance agreement with Stryker. And you would explain that those are
Those are
repair on the cots. Yeah.
for the ambulances, and they are very expensive. So they do have to have a maintenance contract on those to keep them up to date and code.
Great. Any other questions or comments about the claims? Nope. Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I move approval of the claims as submitted.
I don't know what these people are talking
Second.
about. I have no clue what they're getting at. I don't. I'm gonna have to go back to them and be like, hey, you guys are gonna have to try again. I'm not really understanding what you guys are saying is happening here.
So
where is this information at again, Michelle?
So I have a question. If this was discussed and approved at the Board of Works meeting, then why did the mayor pay for it with edit money?
Well, a lot of times things that he talks about there does go through edit does go through the Board of Works. Like they will he will like enter into a contract or something like that, and they will sign off on it, and then edit money will pay for it.
Okay.
So that's kind of like what goes on there.
Gotcha.
Man, I am so pissed off about what happened at that MRC meeting, and I'm just getting more and more and more pissed off about we are up against a really rough next 4 years as far as communication and transparency goes, folks. These people are going to give us the absolute very bare minimum, and they're going to make us have to fight and struggle and claw for this shit each and every day, and it's really, really crazy.
Yeah.
I just can't
Go back to the beginning of the meeting, because
Yeah.
it looks like in the minutes, they do a roll call, approval of the minutes, and then Craig Wright speaks for the first time, I guess. Because it's before,
I pulled
it's
a Ted.
before any noise
I
exemption
literally-
authorization, before the 32 transfer and leach talking.
Okay.
So he brings up this, whatever the fuck it was, Placer Labs,
Okay.
whatever.
Okay, all right. So we'll.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. We'll play. All right, we'll start from.
To the flag of the United States of
It's
America.
not here.
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This is going to switch it up today. Roll call, please.
Ted Baker, Lola Maurer,
Present.
Linda Gregory.
Present.
We have consideration of the April 19th minutes.
I move the approval of the minutes for the last week.
Any questions or comments on this? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same. Motion carries. Craig Wright, claims.
Oh, here we go.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Really nothing unusual on the claims this week. Kind of a short list. Answered a couple questions before the meeting started. We just had a couple larger purchases on page 5. We had a couple vehicle purchases for the fire department, and our usual healthcare claims and utilities. And with that, I'll open it up to any questions you might have.
And
Yes, what I asked before the meeting, I believe it's on page 7. Muncie Sanitary District had done some work for the Parks Department and said that it was a trash truck. And my question was, I didn't think we had trash trucks owned and operated by the city, but apparently
It's an old truck, yeah.
it's kind of
The parks.
not a quite accurate description of the.
Not like the
the
new
work.
ones.
Okay. That's all I was concerned. I didn't think we had started a secondary trash.
Yeah, and it's actually, like I
Operation.
said, it benefits the city to get some of the work done over at the sanitary district just because of labor costs.
And I just had a quick question beforehand on page 5 for the service maintenance agreement with Stryker. And you would explain that those are repair on the cots. Yeah.
For the ambulances, and they are very expensive. So they do have to have a maintenance contract on those to keep them up to date and code.
Great. Any other questions or comments about the claims? Nope. Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I move approval of the claims as submitted.
And second, all in favor? Aye.
There it goes. So
Aye.
They never mentioned it.
All right. I think we have
I'm
tabled
gonna-
with Ted not here, the noise exemption and evaluation.
I'm going to
Thank
have
you.
to send this back to her.
Under new business, we have a noise exemption authorization application with Cobra.
And have her watch this.
Yeah, they never
Morning.
mentioned it. They just
I'm an
throw it in the
attorney
minutes as if it
Muncie,
happened.
112 East Gilbert Street. I'm here on behalf of Cobra Firing Systems. Cobra is conducting a fireworks training symposium for
So I'm
some of its
guessing that it
customers
was in
and other
his
people in the fireworks
paperwork,
business.
but
They
it
had
was
one in
never brought
Fort
up
Wayne
for
last
discussion
year.
or
They moved
publicly
it to Muncie
discussed.
this year.
That makes me so mad. That makes me so mad because look, I'll show you. I'll show you the minutes. I'll show you the minutes here. Let's see here. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Annie. I think that maybe it was in the might have info on it that's not in the meeting.
Well, there's nothing. So I'll put it to you this way: there's no. So here's the agenda. All right, here's the agenda for that meeting. Board of Public Works and Safety.
I did hear the Pledge of Allegiance.
Roll call. Yeah. Consideration of the 2019 minutes. Consideration of register of claims. Unfinished business. Noise exemption reevaluation. Blank. Noise exemption authorization. State Road 32 transfer agreement. Request for flex space from the Herat. Temporary parking request for 901 North Briar Road. Additional board topics. Public comments. Next regularly scheduled board meeting. Okay. Now, here is the minutes.
So it wasn't on the agenda.
But yeah, it was not on the agenda. And then here are the minutes. Time pledge, members present. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Board of Works, Public Works and Safety, City of Muncie, State of Indiana, April 26, 2023 minutes. Board of Works, Pledge of Allegiance, roll call, approval of the minutes, April 19th. Register of Claims, Craig Wright, City Controller, wishes to bring attention to a few items. Page 11, $30,000, Placer Labs, edit, location-based service and analytics. Right there it is.
Why would that end up in the minutes if he didn't bring it up specifically?
Well, because it's part of the claims and they approved the claims.
I guess, but they only called out a couple specific ones, right?
Well, yeah, but and they didn't talk about any of these.
Yeah. Says he wants to bring attention to, but he didn't bring attention to any of those.
Right.
I guess is my point.
Yeah.
He was like, hey, like if he went up there, he's like, hey, just want to remind you 30,000 for this, blah, blah, blah. And they went, oh, okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Then I'd say that's correct. But why are they recording in minutes something that didn't actually happen per se? That's weird.
More City of Muncie insanity, man. I tell you, Annie, I'll be honest. I don't think they edited anything out, and I don't think they added anything. I'll be honest. I think it was put in the claims. They didn't talk about it. I think he probably sent that to him. It was there. They added it, and it is what it is. And this is the problem with the City of Muncie, with the communication, with the transparency. So I'm going to send this back to little Miss Muncie woman. I'm going to tell her, watch this and tell me at what point this is discussed. I think we also need to take these to the Board of Works and have them fix this because they never discussed that. Matter of fact, they never discussed anything from that little blurb there. They
talked about the trash.
Yeah, well, you right that, but that's down here.
Okay.
They never discussed the Kelly Chevy MFD 2023. He did bring that up.
Yeah, he brought vehicles.
Look at this, page 6, $11,000 U.S. Architects ARP Muncie Crisis Center.
There you go. That confirms that, doesn't it?
Yep.
Thanks for pointing that one out, Michelle.
See that right there?
So 11,000 is I was asking before. It's like, how do we know that money is actually going to the Muncie Crisis Center? There it is.
We know it now. I'm telling you, most absolute, non-transparent, non-communicative, if that's a word, bastards. These people, Dan Ridenour, you hiding, Heidi bastard. $11,000 ARP funds spent on a building that's being torn down.
Such a
Uncle
waste.
Joe would not be happy with you. He would not be happy. Or maybe he would. I don't know. And for what? What work did the U.S. Architects do? What did they do? What work is Placer AI Labs doing? What is happening in the City of Muncie? Why is this okay? Why did people reelect Dan Ridenour? Man, I don't know. You got thought anything else? The last thing I want to add, and I'm done, and I'll let Brandon have the last word on it. I do have this good bit of news to tell you. Dude, our pressure does work. Pressure does work. What we do here works. We get through. This is the Delaware County Council meeting agenda for next Tuesday. I've been pushing this for the last week. Important upcoming meetings for those concerned about solar farms in Delaware County. Monday, November 20th, 2023 at 9 a.m. Delaware County Commissioners meeting. Tuesday, November 21st, 2023 at 9 a.m. Delaware County Council meeting. Okay. I told you guys that Ryan Webb had requested that they put the solar crisis on the agenda. Okay, we had requested that they would do that. We were being told they were not going to do that. They did not want to do that. Here's his email to them. I read it to you. Good afternoon. As you're likely aware, the Planning Commission removed many of the critical components of the solar ordinance that was created by a collective of the Delaware County residents. The newly amended solar ordinance will likely be approved at the County Commissioners meeting on Monday, November 20th, 2023. Our Delaware County Council meeting is the very next day. Back in February 2022 council meeting, I expressed concerns that the council was misled when we approved the tax abatement for the 2 solar farm companies. I wanted to send the abatement back to the tax abatement committee in light of the new information, as well as make a motion for a special hearing to consider rescinding the tax abatement. At that time, I was told by the council to wait and see what the Solar Task Force Committee came up with. And after that, we could revisit the issue if necessary. My motion failed 4-2. The committee has now met. The Planning Commission ignored most of the critical recommendations of the panel. In fact, the land set aside for the industrial solar ballooned from 3,400 acres, 2% of available farm ground, to 34,000 acres, which is an astronomical 20% of available farm ground. I'm officially requesting this to be placed on the agenda for this month's November County Council meeting. The following item: the council needs to consider a motion rescinding the property tax abatement sending the property tax abatement back to the tax abatement committee, as well as scheduling a special meeting and a public hearing to discuss potentially rescinding the tax abatements for both the solar farms that we as a county council approved in 2021 under misleading terms. And we were being told, no, they don't want to do it. We don't want to do it. We don't want to do it. And all we said was, we're not saying solar is bad. We're not saying no, go, absolutely. We're just saying if they lied, if there was misleading information, this needs to be discussed. It needs to be looked at. It needs to go back to committee, and we need to possibly resend it and then re-vote for it. And as of today, ladies and gentlemen, it was put on the agenda. Here is the agenda. Delaware County Council meeting, November 21st, 2023, Delaware County Commissioners Courtroom. Review of status of Meadow Forge and Hawthorne tax abatement resolutions. It was put on there, and I've got to give it to Councilor Ryan Webb. I've got to give it to our show here, the Political Spotlight, to everyone from up in Gaston and all citizens from around Delaware County that have been emailing and talking and pushing. Pressure does work. Ryan Webb, he posted and said, it is said that pressure makes diamonds, but public pressure and peer pressure makes things happen. The solar farm tax abatement is now on the agenda for this coming Tuesday's Delaware County Council meeting, where we will discuss the status of the projects and possibly taking the steps to consider rescinding those tax abatements. So listen, I'm not talking for or against. I'm just saying this was a decision in the right. This was an action in the right. This was a step in the right direction. This was a decision that needed to be made, and we can consider this a victory.
Yep.
So that's that. Just to end the show, and Kate's been a big part of helping here. Brandon, I'm so thankful. All of you guys that watch and share and talk and do battle, you guys have been a big part of this. Thank each and every one of you. I just want to say we've covered a lot in this show. The money that Dan Ridenour has spent on this building to tear it down, to then rebuild it, is astonishingly gross. It's insane. And people need to be bitching. Where's the Star Press? Where are the news agencies? I'm going to be sending this to everybody. I'll also be sending it to the FBI. I'll send it wherever. If you guys want information on this, let me know. I can send it to you. I'm going to make a social media post about this. The park information is ignorant. I don't even know what they're doing there. There's a lot there. She needs to answer more questions. I have a lot of record requests into the city of Muncie right now, and I'm telling you, it's going to be an uphill battle, and I am not going to let them stop. I'm going to battle them tooth and nail on it. And then lastly, we have 2 crazy things and a victory. So I guess all in all, not a bad day.
Yeah.
There should be more oversight of the ARP funds, no question.
Oh, no joke.
So, any final thoughts?
I just say, I feel like people should be pissed off on this. Remember, this is not Dan wasting his money. This is Dan wasting your money. So, it's crap. And if you don't like how you're spending your money, then let them know. Let them know at the ballot box. It's a little late for that one, but definitely show up at meetings. Let them know. It's ridiculous. It's wasteful.
It is. And when you let him know, you can either do that by calling, texting, hitting him up on social media if he hasn't blocked you. You can do that in meetings if he attends. You can do that at Dream with Dan's, or you can find him out in the parking lot eating his trunk shrimp.
That's
and,
right.
Oh yes, Jeff Howell is definitely a cuck. That's no question. No question. I posted that to somebody the other day, and I was like, dude, I can't believe I actually literally wrote that. And I don't know where that was, where I wrote that at. I wrote that on some kind of post or something. I'm trying to think what post that actually was. But I wrote that. I was like, here's a video of so-and-so being the
cuckolded.
What?
Video of someone being cuckolded? Is that what you're putting?
Yeah, here's the video of so-and-so being the cuck that we've known them to be. And I can't recall for the life of me who it was, but you can guarantee that it was a politician. Politicians. I heard someone today tell me that politicians aren't people.
They're not people.
They're not people. Just remember that, folks. Politicians are not people. So that's the postscript of the day. Politicians are not people.
There you go. All right. Well, have a good one, everybody.
And
don't eat the trunk shrimp.
I was going to say enjoy it. Enjoy that trunk shrimp.
No, Ryan's been warning everyone. Avoid the trunk shrimp.
If you're interested. Hey, speaking of Ryan, wait a minute. Is he here? Ryan, are you okay?
Not Webb.
No, I know this Ryan. Just Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan had like a little surgery today.
You have to get a shrimp removal?
Yeah, emergency shrimp removal. Did that shrimp removal all right? Obviously you're talking to us, so you're not dead. So
he's like, no, I died in surgery. Thanks for asking that.
Yes, I died 4 hours ago. All right, folks. Thank you very much. I am so happy that Brandon was here and enjoyed this evening with us. And Kate as well, everybody. I got to get off here and ask her what she was shaking her head about back a minute ago. So I've just been dying to know that ever since it happened. All right, folks. Thank you guys very much. I will not be here tomorrow night. Woo! We're having a night off. However, I will tell you, right when I was thinking that I would also not be here Saturday too, the good doctor called me tonight, and she was like in a rage. She was like yelling and screaming and cussing and crying, not like sad crying, but like mad crying. Like we're going to put on a show for you. So if you're not doing anything, Brandon, you're more than welcome to pop in for that. You don't have to, but whatever. We're going to do some kind of a show at 9:00. She's got kind of an interesting idea we might talk about that evening. We'll let you know, but we're going to be on Saturday. So no Friday show. hate saying that because I'm going to learn something really interesting tomorrow. Nope. I'll hold it till Sunday. No Friday show. We'll be here Saturday, and then we'll be here Sunday. So you'll have a night off. Then we'll see you back here Saturday and Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern. You guys take care. God bless. Have a good evening. Goodbye.
Later.
Messed up.